Back at Texas Stadium, the Cowboys 24, Arizona 10. Both teams have returned. John, pretty much true to form. I think the Cowboys been able to move the ball when they wanted to. The Cardinals tackling has been kind of bad.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Cowboys are just too good.
Yeah.
I mean, you take Troy Aikman, when he gets hot like this and he has that protection, he's darn near perfect. Then he has Michael Irvin out there. If you cover him one-on-one, you can just throw it up to him anytime. Then you have Emmitt Smith running the ball. On defense, they're giving him the pass rush. Although, I do think if the Cardinals could tackle a little better on defense, and on offense, keep going for those big plays. There may be some big plays there for them.
I was about to ask you, what can they do to get back into this game? The score is not that bad, 24-10. The Cowboys lead.
I just think staying with it. I mean, staying aggressive and they have to take chances. I mean, like at halftime they said they're desperate. Well, they don't match up. I mean, the Cardinals aren't as good a football team as the Dallas Cowboys, so they're going to have to play desperately. They're going to have to take some chances. They're going to have to go for some big plays, but one thing, the fundamental part of it is you just have to tackle better. And I'm sure Buddy Ryan knows that. I'm sure that somewhere he talked about that. If we're going to play and we're going to play defense, you guys better tackle better. And you better get a whole bunch of guys there to tackle. And when we get in a passing situation, you better block 94.
Or your passer's going to get killed. Bonio to kick it off. Take some chances doesn't mean you panic, though. Ryan Terry at the goal line. Around the corner. Chased and run out of bounds. Bill Bates, Darren Woodson right there. First half statistics. Rushing yards just 27 for the Cardinals, 99 for the Cowboys.
That's a big thing. I mean, every game, even though this is a passing game in the NFL, but it always starts with this, being able to run and being able to stop the run. And when you can't run and you can't stop the run, then you're going to be down.
Well, you ask, as we go from game to game, you ask every head coach, what do you have to do to win? We have to be able to run, and we have to stop the run.
Yeah, because it all starts here. Because if you can't do that, then you can't play pass. And then if you can't play pass, then pass protection is going to be tough.
First and 10, Dave Krieg. Hands off to Garrison Hurst. Hurst gets a little bit around the corner. The ball bounced out of bounds, hit by Brock Marion, but he got good yardage nevertheless. That might be their longest running play of the day.
This is Garrison Hurst's third year, but it's really his first year. That first year was kind of lost. He had the contract and then the injury, and last year he was hurt and played a little. And this year he came back, and this is kind of his first year as an NFL running back.
He had his first 100-yard game last week. 8 carries, 11 yards today. Again, it's Garrison Hurst. And he gets close to a first down. Charles Haley led the defensive charge.
You see the other guy that was in there is Darren Woodson. That's another advantage that this Cowboy defense has against the run is that they have a safety there in Darren Woodson, and he's going to be right here. But Darren Woodson was a linebacker in college, and he plays defensive back. And if it's a run, he plays it like a linebacker. I mean, see him stick his head in there?
Yep. On first down, Craig again gives to Hurst. Charles Haley and Dixon Edwards stop Garrison Hurst.
And again, here's the guys you have to block right here. I mean, you have to get the guys on the line of scrimmage. Then you can get the linebackers later. But they got Leon Lett moving just a little, but then he spun right back into the hole.
It made him cut back just a little, and Charles Haley arrived on the scene.
Leon Lett is playing a very dominant game, and he's playing over Duval Love there, who's from Pittsburgh, but he was in the Pro Bowl last year, so he didn't draw an average guy.
11-year veteran is Duval Love. Craig back to throw it. Leon Lett broke loose, pass incomplete. Good defensive play by Brock Marion.
And
Frank
Leon
Sanders, the intended receiver, flag on the play.
I was just going to say, Leon Lett is upset because he broke 3 right there, and then he got cut after he broke 3. We were just talking about how quick he is and how big he is and how dominant he is. But just watch his initial move right here. I mean, he just takes Love and slaps him to the outside, slaps him to the inside, and the only thing that Duval Love can do is tackle him.
Still second down.
Big Cat is a good name for him because he is quick and very graceful.
But did you see that? He gave him a double. That's what you call a double head slap.
Yep.
I mean, he slapped him boom one way, then he slapped him boom the other way, and then he went whap, right up the middle. Whew. This guy is a football player. I mean, this is a defensive tackler. He's giving him a lesson on how you play that position today.
That'll make your ears ring a little bit. Second down, Krieg back to throw. Out of the pocket again. Pass is incomplete.
See, Krieg is starting to anticipate that pressure from his left side. He's starting to move to that right before the pressure even gets there.
Marcus Dowdell.
That's David Krieg is the first guy there to him.
Dowdell, number 84, is the Cardinals.
They're having trouble again with Haley and Leon Lett over there. They had it the whole first half and in this thing, and so I think Krieg is starting to anticipate it. That was Marcus Dowdell. I think what happened here, Pat, I think he lands on the ball. I think that's the injury. But see, the ball, I think, hit the ground just before it got to him. And then he landed, his stomach landed right on the ball.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And that ground doesn't give much, and the ball is kind of hard. When you fall on top of it, it will make you take a couple of short breaths.
That's the old deal, getting hit in the solar plexus. You know, and that take anything you have, well, just how one shot there can take all the wind out of you, just take all the air out of you.
Third down and about 10. 24-10, the Cowboys lead.
Dave Krieg's giving coaching point.
Yep, so is Haley. Cowboys had a blitz going, and down goes Krieg. Chad Henning, Robert Jones converge on Krieg.
Well, here's the pressure this time. We'd seen Leon Lett get it. Leon Lett's on this side this time, but again, it's that right side. It's Chad Henning's there. He just takes it and just pushes right up the middle again, right through Duval Love, taking his inside shoulder. Poor old Dave Krieg didn't have a chance. That was what you call an avalanche. Jailbreak.
Bull rush.
Bull rush. Bull rush to a jailbreak.
Kevin Williams dropped the ball momentarily, picks it back up. Down he goes.
There's a call timeout on the field.
Cowboys with their first possession of the second half coming up. They lead by 14.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Intel. Intel Inside Pentium processor-based PCs run today's PC software best. By Beechwood Aged Budweiser, the king of beers. This Bud's for you. By Old Spice High Endurance Deodorant for long-lasting odor protection. Now you've got proof, not promises. And by Splitfire, the patented performance spark plug.
Camera does amazing things, doesn't it, John? Gets everybody's attention.
Yeah, that duck, I think, was going sideways and almost got stuck between those rocks. Did you see it jump?
A stuck duck.
A jumping duck.
Aikman back to throw it. He's going to run. Speaking of running, let's check out Emmitt Smith running in the first half.
We'll see where he ran. We know he ran well. Only 8 yards to the left, 65 yards in the middle, and 13 yards to the right. So we talk about the job that the center and the two guards, that big, powerful inside, did, and you can see that that's also where Emmitt Smith ran most of the time and, of course, gained most of his yards.
Second down. Aikman to Michael Irvin. Irvin close to a first down. Those guys in the middle, and those are, I think, correct weights.
Well, see here, if you're huddled this way, they're pointed this way. Nate goes this way, left guard. Ray Donald's in the center. Larry Allen, the right guard. And then you just get in here and you put back here, there's 950, that's 1,000 pounds. You just do tons, you know, and you just, boom, you just run right by him.
Do you believe that Larry Allen weighs more than Nate Newton?
No. This guy here weighs more, not the officials. I'll guarantee you Nate does.
There he is. His arm weighs.
Well, see, he's still starting that hitch now. That's that old Nate Newton hitch. And heavy guys will always do that. I'm there too. And I don't know why skinny guys never hitch their pants up, and guys that have combinations hanging over right there always hitch their pants up. Now, why can't you keep your pants up when you got a lot to keep them up?
Because you don't get them all the way up, I think. This is Emmett Smith. Out of bounds, midfield. Watch Larry Allen come out in front of Emmett Smith.
Now, that's one thing about those guys. You know, we talk about the size, but also watch these three guys move. I mean, watch how quick they are. I mean, they can run like backs. I mean, Allen gets around there, gets the linebacker. He gets out in front of Emmett Smith. Nate Newton, when it goes to the right, he can get out in front of the running back. I mean, these guys, Nate said something like that. I don't know why they all sweat like that. They look like they've been sitting in something. But Nate says that they can all dance. You don't find too many guys that big that can all dance well.
I like to see that.
Well, the problem is probably finding people that want to dance with them.
Yeah, do they dance with each other or what?
No.
Pat Summerall, John Madden back at Texas Stadium. Cowboys ball at midfield. Second and short. They lead 24-10.
The Cowboys linemen have a contest to see who can sweat the farthest down the leg, and Larry Allen is winning.
Outside to Emmett Smith. And Emmett gets down to the Cardinal 41. Seth Joyner tripped him up.
You know, Troy Aikman has said this year he's going to safety. If you look at him, he has a longer face mask this year. He has that heavy chin strap. He's wearing a knee brace and high tops. You see, here's the thing. Here's the chin strap here and the longer face mask. Here was last year's face mask. You can see that it's shorter. So he's gone to the longer face mask, the chin strap, the knee brace, and the high tops.
And he's just as effective.
Emmett
Smith to about the 39, stopped by Clyde Simmons.
Number 96 leading the charge.
And he even has the foam. You see here, every year he gets his chin split open. So now he has the foam that goes on the inside of that big old chin strap.
Got it split open again this year.
I know, so he got that big face mask. That didn't help any. He got the chin strap, he got the rib pads, he got the knee brace, and he got the high tops. And this year he's not going for looks, just safety.
That'll disappoint a lot of people. Diving catch by Novacek from Aikman. Terry Hogue made the stop.
You know, this offense just has to frustrate a defense because the minute you start to anchor in there to stop Emmett, then they start working their receivers, then you play the receivers, and then the next thing they do is they go back to working Emmett again. And through all that, this big offensive line is doing their job.
Third and short, and Derek Kennard is back in.
Well, see, now Larry Allen now moves out here to tight end.
Aikman just threw it away. There was a flag on the play. The pass was intended for Darrell Johnston, and the Cardinals saw it coming and grabbed him.
I think Garth Jacks knocked the moose down before the ball got there.
Yep.
There was a play pass. Now it was towards the side. Larry Allen was playing tight end on, so you know they're not going to throw it to old Larry Allen.
No.
He's leading the league in sweat down the leg.
Holding, 53, defense, first down.
53 is Garth Jacks, and he's going to be out there on Daryl Johnson. See 48 Johnson, he goes there. See Garth Jacks right here.
Got him.
He's just going to grab him. He just grabs him and tackles him. And here comes the ball later. Whoop. Yep. If you're going to get beat, you may as well tackle him.
Yep.
Just a 5-yard penalty and a first down.
That's Emmett. Emmett Smith to about the 25 behind Daryl Johnston's block.
And the other guy was a cross block between Mark Tuinei and Nate Newton. But they do, you know, we saw on defense how they cross or have a game. And then on offense, you get the same thing. See, here's Nate. He'll come this way. 2-8 comes down. We get the block there and then the lead there. But watch how quickly they move. You see how Nate comes out there? Boom, right there. He makes that hit. And then Emmett Smith is just running right in behind him.
The Moose looks like an elk behind that big offensive line. The pass to Irvin from Aikman. First down at about the 15. Patrick Hunter on the stop. The Cowboys record with Emmett Smith has 100 yards. He has 102 yards today.
I think that's darn near a given now, isn't it? I mean, every time the Cowboys play, Emmett Smith's going to get his 100 yards. Because one thing, when the Cowboys run, he's the only guy that runs with the ball. And that's not bad. I mean, you wouldn't want to do it any other way.
No.
You see that contest still going on. Larry Allen still winning the length of the sweat down the leg contest.
Aikman to throw. Away. Clyde Simmons pressured Aikman.
And that's about the 4th receiver. He had 3 receivers on his right side, and he looked. There was nothing open, so he threw to his left and just threw it away.
Second and 10 at the 15. Michael Irvin has 5 catches for 105 yards today. The one long one on the opening drive. He split wide to the left this time. Second and 10. Smith down to about the 11. Terry Hogue. There's a name we've been saying a long time.
He's been around for a long time, and as long as Buddy Ryan has a job, a guy like Terry Hogue will always have a job because he's a 12-year veteran safety, one of those guys that plays nickel, dimes, makes the calls in those situations. Every defense, every offense, every situation he's seen, been there. Very smart player. A guy like that, if he doesn't get injured, will always have a job.
3rd and 7. He's always been a good, tough tackler. And they need that. Aikman. Terry Hogue. Pass intended for Corey Fleming.
He knew that. He was jumping that thing. I mean, you know, if you take a guy like Hogue, he's going to read, he's going to read the drop of the quarterback, then he's going to read the quarterback's eyes, and then he's going to jump on that. Now, if you just watch Hogue there, you see Aikman is looking to the right all the way. So if you look at the receiver you're going to throw to all the way, a guy like Terry Hogue will always get a jump on it.
Bonio will try from 30 yards. He is good. And the Cowboys move ahead 24 to 10.
Number 84, Marcus Dowdle.
27 to 10. Bonio, good high kick. Going to be handled by Ryan Terry. Outside the 30. Scott Case made the tackle. This game summary brought to you by Budweiser. Aikman 16 out of 24. 1 touchdown to Novacek. Emmett Smith 158 total yards, 2 touchdowns. Krieg is 11 out of 14. Dallas has 343 total yards. Arizona 190. Cardinal first down at their own 31. 5:25 left in the 3rd. They go with 2 tight ends. Krieg something else he does very well.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, he has harassed and been so dominant in this game. You'll see him right here that he's going to take a push, and then he takes throwing lanes away. You see, you get the push, and now you look, when Krieg is looking out here, you can't get to him, but you can get to the lane that he's going to throw in.
The big cat is 6'6". And if he keeps playing like this, the Pro Bowl is a given.
Oh, yeah, he's automatic. But the thing is I mean, he's just 6'6", and he just takes away those lanes.
Yep. Krieg, incomplete. Intended for more, just barely off his fingertips.
Yeah, we're seeing more good defensive tackles, though. You know, because remember, like 4 or 5 years ago, everyone was using a 3-man line, and the big guys were the linebackers. Now, as they go back to the 4-man line, I think to be a good 4-man line team, you need at least one good or dominant tackle inside.
3rd and 10. 3 wide receiver package for the Cardinals this time.
Cardinals are 0 for 5 in 3rd down conversions.
Krieg to throw it. Flags down. Hennings and Haley both broke free, but the whistle stopped it.
I'll tell you one thing.
Offense.
The Cardinals have trouble in this situation. When they get to 3rd down and they go to shotgun, it's whether it's a substitution or it's a shotgun itself, I'm not sure. But last week against Detroit, they had problems. They have problems here today. I think the shotgun is very, very difficult to use on the road.
Because of the noise. It's like Dave Krieg's got a list of plays taped to his wrist for situations like this. I don't know if you have any plays for situations like this. Pass is caught by Sanders. And Sanders gets to the Cowboy 45-yard line. The Cowboys had a blitz going, and the Cardinals read it.
And that's not a bad play like that right there. You just look on your wrist, see what you have. Sanders runs it in, and he is wide open. Because what happens when you get the blitz, now there's no one in the middle. You see the guys that would have been in the middle, they're going on the blitz. So when Sanders comes in the middle, he gets a step on Clayton Holmes, and there's no help in there at all.
The helpers were blitzing, and that's a chance you take.
If the helpers don't get to the quarterback.
Right. Krieg gives to Hurst. He gets nothing. Right now for a McDonald's game break. Once again, return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
Pat, the Giants exploded offensively today, led by Rodney Hampton's career 4 rushing touchdowns as the Giants spanked the Saints 45-29. Let's take it back to Pat and John.
27-10. Stadium, the Cowboys leading the Cardinals.
And Dave Krieg has those plays on his arms now, so he's getting the play and then referring to the wristband.
2nd and 10. Has protection, has his tight end, Wendell Gaines. And that'll be a 1st down, Cardinals.
You see Wendell Gaines, when he catches that ball, he is going to be tough to tackle because he weighs 300 pounds.
Right.
I mean, this guy's like 6'4", 300 pounds. He was a basketball player. In fact, he went to the same high school that Buddy Ryan did.
Frederick, Oklahoma.
Right, and then he played 1 year at Oklahoma State. He was a defensive player, and they made him a tight end. But when you get in the open field and you weigh 300 pounds, you are a load to those defensive backs.
And you can move, and you were a basketball player. This is Larry Center from Krieg. Down to about the 25. Clock running with 2:55 left in the 3rd quarter. The Cowboys leading 27-10.
The thing about Dave Krieg, he hangs in there.
Yep.
I mean, he's a football player, and he's a competitor, and he just knows how to play the game. I mean, whether he has to read plays off his wrist, go to shotgun, get a 10-yard penalty, 5-yard penalty, and come back and do it, he can still do it. He's reading those plays all the way up
at the line of scrimmage. Krieg. Pass caught by Moore at about the 4-yard line. That's just a good throw.
And he's just a streak passer. He is, too. I mean, Dave Krieg, we've seen him over the years at Seattle and Kansas City and Detroit. When he gets hot, he can really get hot.
Yeah.
I mean, he zipped that thing in there to Rob Moore.
It had to be, too.
Yeah, there was no room there. I mean, that's very good coverage by Larry Brown there. He's right there and it went right under his arm.
First and goal at the 4. Rob Moore came to Arizona from the Jets. Hurst and Samuels, rather. That's Garrison Hurst. Whirls down to about the 3. Yeah, in talking to Dave Krieg, I want to look at it again.
The thing is, again, it's that inside. It's Russell Maryland and those guys inside forcing everything to the outside and then making it go down the line of scrimmage where you can get your pursuit.
Krieg said it when he was at Seattle. He played with Steve Largent, then with Kansas City. He played with Joe Montana, then Barry Sanders with Detroit. Those are the things he remembers. Not in. Hurst to about the 1.
He also said that he never wanted to leave any place that he left.
Yep.
He always liked it where he was and wanted to stay, but the situation always made him go.
Came here because he felt he had a chance to be a starter. And that's what he's become.
And at 16 years, he wanted one more chance. Dave Atkins is the offensive coordinator, is talking to him in his helmet. Then he has the plays on the wristband, but he better hurry up because the play clock is down to 4.
They got it done with 1 second to go. Moore is the intended receiver. It's broken up by Darren Woodson. Here comes the field goal unit. 16 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
That's a heck of a play by Woodson.
Yep.
He got in there. He really didn't see the ball. He wasn't looking back at the ball either. He was just watching Rob Moore. And when Rob Moore's hands went up, Darren Woodson's hands went up. Now, if he didn't hit that ball, that could have been pass interference.
Greg Davis for the field goal. Fiegel's holding. Bad snap. Fiegel's got it down just in time. The field goal is good. 13 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. 13 points for Arizona. Dallas has 27. Long-time Cowboy fan, known locally as Crazy Ray.
I think he's known more than locally as
Yeah,
Crazy Ray.
probably.
He was known all over the league. Any team that would come in here to play against the Cowboys would know Crazy Ray.
Yeah. Kevin Williams. Almost broke out of the pack, went down at the 31.
You know, isn't it funny how much difference a year makes? Remember a year ago when Barry Switzer went to see his son Doug play, and there was a thing, oh, he left the team and all that. Now, there's nothing. I mean, we were here yesterday, and there was Barry at practice, and now you look, here's Barry sitting at a game. There's his son Doug, the quarterback at Arkansas Pine Bluff. I think they were beaten last night by Howard.
I think that's right.
They were playing Howard, I know.
That's in St. Louis.
Yeah, Doug got the old quarterback sneak there. But, you know, but the thing is, I mean, he took Jerry Jones's airplane, went up to the game.
Novacek from Aikman. Terry Irving knocked him out of bounds. That's the end of 3 at Texas Stadium, with the Cowboys leading the Arizona Cardinals 27-13. The wounded on the Arizona sideline.
Well, you know, here's Aeneas Williams. We saw him earlier, remember, on the carpet on that touchdown by Emmitt Smith. He injured his knee. They said if they're going to re-examine that tomorrow. In the back there was Lorenzo Lynch. Looked like he had a hamstring injury.
Pitch back from Aikman to Emmitt Smith. Not much doing.
Right there in the sideline, we were looking at half of the Cardinals secondary, one on crutches, the other one laying on the bench. Here's Aeneas Williams. Here's Lorenzo Lynch right back there.
It's like a hamstring for him. Lynch,
and it's a knee for Aeneas Williams. Eric Swan, of course, already out. He had knee surgery. Eric Hill also out, but they expect him back next week.
2nd and 8. 27-13 Dallas. Aikman a throw. Kevin Williams will get the first down.
And again, good pass protection there because Aikman was able to double hitch. Watch Nate here. And again, what you do is you have to zone block, and you have to be able, anyone comes in your area, you see, boom, you hit that guy there, you give him back to Donaldson, boom, then you hit the guy with your left shoulder, and you give him back to Tuinei. That's what a good guard does. A good uncovered man always has his head on a swivel and will help inside and outside on the same play.
1st and 10 Cowboys. Aikman back to throw. If he has time, going deep for Irvin. He's open. Just couldn't light the burner a little too far. Let's go back for another McDonald's game break to James Brown in Hollywood.
All right, Pat. Oakland scored 27 unanswered points. 6 more here as Jeff Hosteller finds Derek Finner in the corner of the end zone. My goodness, Oakland is up 27-17 in the 3rd. Take you back to Pat and John.
Back at Texas Stadium, 4th quarter, Dallas 27, Arizona 13.
What did JB say? My goodness, Oakland is up?
2nd down, 10.
My goodness.
That shouldn't be a surprise. I mean, the Raiders are back. They're playing in Oakland. They were down. They'll come back. Always have.
Emmitt Smith.
Give to Emmitt Smith to the 45-yard line.
Just about 3.
Thing about Emmitt Smith too is you know they can keep working him and he enjoys it. I mean, he's in such good shape that you can just work him and work him and work him, and he's one of those guys that I think the more he carries the ball, the better he gets. And I'm not saying that with it being ahead 27-13 and have the ball that they have to beat him in this game, but when it gets to a game when they really need him, he's always there for 4 quarters.
3rd and 7. Blitz coming. Aikman to Kevin Williams. Didn't get enough for the first. Tito Paul made the stop.
And Troy Aikman's upset because he knows that he had to get enough for the first down. He wants to go for it. He wanted to stay out there and go for it on 4th down.
But here comes John Jett.
So it doesn't make any difference what Troy Aikman wants, does it?
He's overruled. How about the St. Louis Rams? They're 4-0.
If anyone would have said, you know, before this season, give me 3 teams that are going to be undefeated after 4 weeks, I don't think in any count you would have put the St. Louis Rams.
Have a tough time just saying it. Jets kick takes a backward bounce, and it's down to about the 14.
Ball is killed by Reggie Barnes.
Reggie Barnes down. So 11:52 left to play. Cowboys leading 27-13. Pat Summerall with John Madden back at Texas Stadium, 27-13 Dallas.
Dave Atkins is the offensive coordinator of the Cardinals, and he calls the plays into the headset of Dave Krieg, and then he must give him a couple options because then Dave Krieg also has the plays on his wristband.
1st and 10 at their own 15. Krieg to throw it. To the outside to Hurst. Jim Swans to bring him down.
Now there you see Dave Atkins. He'll call the play, and then he's given him. What he may be doing is just calling a number, like giving him like number 12.
And he has the formation.
Right, and then he looks on the wristband and gets the rest of it, so there doesn't have to be a lot of dialogue.
and make sure he's got the right people in the game to run that formation. 3 wide receivers. Krieg to throw. Forced out of the pocket and chased, and down he goes. Tony Tolbert.
See what happened? He's getting so much pressure from his left that he started to come to his right all the time. See, he starts coming out here, so here comes Tolbert to get him. Again, because of the pressure here that he's been getting, that's making him float out to his right all the time. You see, they got the game here, and then you see he looks, and then he starts to float out to the right or escape there, and there's Tony Tolbert knowing that he's going to get pushed, and he's going to try and come that way, so Tolbert just gets up the field a little more.
Cowboys go with a 3-man rush this time. 3rd and 22. Lett and Hennings right in the middle. Krieg out of the end zone. Center. Pass was caught in the end zone.
I think Leon Lett and Duval Love are going after it there. One thing about this pass, at least it got him out past the 5-yard line. In fact, Dave Krieg didn't look like he was ready for that. But watch Leon Lett. He gets a push on Duval Love. Love keeps blocking him there at the end. They're still playing.
Locked horns.
Because Lett has that thing up there and the fist up there and the face mask.
Fiegel. Kevin Williams. Midfield. Tripped up at about the 36-yard line of Arizona. Chad Hennings. Neck problems and a little massage. 27-13. Dallas leads Arizona.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Red Dog Beer. Bold yet smooth, unusually easy to drink. You are your own dog. By Denerex with conditioners, the serious dandruff shampoo. By the Body Heat Activated Degree Antiperspirant and Deodorant. And by Dockers Flat Front Khakis, proud makers of nice pants.
Today's game is being produced by Bob Stenner and directed by Sandy Grossman. Studio is produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. Troy Aikman is the executive producer of the Dallas offense. And the producer is Emmett Smith.
And that whole combination of being able to run Emmett inside, you know, and hold all the defense to the inside, and then have a guy like Michael Irvin out on the outside is darn near enough to beat most of the teams in the league. I mean, just Troy Aikman handing Emmett Smith and throwing to Michael Irvin will darn near beat most of the teams in this league.
And you throw in a dose of Novacek, the Moose, Kevin Williams. Aikman. Incomplete. Flag on the play. Intended for Williams. Lassiter is going to be called for the violation.
Well, somewhere Kevin Williams is going to take Alvin Harper's place and take Alvin Harper's numbers. Alvin Harper only caught, what, 32 passes last year, so.
Pass interference, number 42, defense, first down.
So the thing that, you know, that position has to do that Kevin Williams is playing is not catch a lot of passes, but catch a lot of big passes. And that's what Alvin Harper gave him.
Well, you remember when Jason Garrett was the quarterback, his wife told him, just throw it as far as you can, as high as you can, and Alvin will catch it.
That was on Thanksgiving, wasn't it?
Yeah. Aikman, Novacek, dropped it. Had it and lost it.
There's two coaches consoling each other. Barry Switzer said he was wide open. He is wide open. The pass is a perfect pass. He looked it right into his hand, and I think Hogue knocked it out just as he was bringing it down. See, he brought it down, and just as he started to bring it into himself, Terry Hogue knocked it out of there. And Aikman's thinking, what in the heck do I have to do to throw a touchdown pass here?
Blitz coming. Reverse coming. And going nowhere. Kevin Williams with the reverse. The Cardinals played it perfectly.
I tell you, he's going to run right into McCants there. And he's thinking Keith McCants is number 90. He's playing right here. He doesn't go for the fake, and he just runs, boom, just helmet to helmet.
He saw it coming.
That's the thing. Yeah, McCants did.
Yeah.
Kevin Williams, I think, saw McCants coming, too, but it was too late. But if on a reverse, if the guys don't flow, if they don't run the other, when you start the other way, some bad things can happen to it.
3 wide receiver package. Here comes a Cardinal blitz again. For Michael Irvin. Incomplete.
Yeah, that thing wasn't timed up. The blitz was coming, and either Michael Irvin was taking too long to run his pattern, or Troy Aikman threw it too soon. And that's why, you know, you like to, that's a sight adjust. You like your wide receiver to know that a blitz is coming, so your quarterback will have less time, so he has to run his pattern a little shorter and look a little quicker.
I would have to guess that Michael Irvin didn't know that the blitz was coming.
He has to look to the inside.
Right.
He will know next time. He knew last time.
Jet. High hanging kick. Bounds into the end zone. And they'll bring it to the 20. 27-13. Dallas leading with 8:03 left to play. Cowboys trying to go 4-0. Cowboys 27, Cardinals 13. Cardinal ball at their own 20. Krieg. I'm not sure if it was caught or not. Rob Moore. Yes, it was. He was sliding. I'm not sure.
That's one of those patterns that you throw right in between the short defender and the long defender. And he had to throw it in that hole. He did throw it in that hole. I don't know if the ball hit the ground or not, but he was just throwing it not to Rob Moore, but just in the hole between the two defensive backs, the short and the deep defensive back.
Krieg back. Goes again to Moore. Well, they said they had to get the ball to him more often. And it's working.
And they're doing it, and Dave Krieg is proving that if he can get time, and he gets time here because they're blocking. Watch the block that they do on Charles Haley here. Here's Ernest Dye.
Whoa.
You see, he starts him, and there's Larry Centers come and pick him off.
And that's what he was talking about yesterday.
That's what he said. That's what Charles Haley said yesterday. He said Larry Centers is the best at that as anyone in football.
He just proved it. Krieg, incomplete. Intended for Frank Sanders.
You know, when Dave Krieg has time, he can get the job done. But you look at the pressure that he's been under. He's been sacked 3 times, hurried 3 times, knocked down 5 times, had 1 pass batted, 1 interception, and he was forced to scramble 7 times. So he hasn't been able really to get in the pocket, sit there and look it over and throw the ball.
No.
They've been after him pretty good all day.
Krieg with time. Incomplete. Intended for Wendell Gaines. Led him just a little too much. Flag on the play.
Yep, and there was Leon Lett hanging on Dave Krieg just as he threw that ball again. I tell you, if Leon Lett doesn't watch out, he's going to be the player of this game.
I think he has a very good chance.
Because he's knocking the quarterback down. He's batting balls down. Every time he rushes, they hold him and grab him, tackle him.
Holding, number 71, offense.
Holding against Larry Tharp.
Watch Lett. He's number 78. He's coming there. He breaks through a double team, and he's right on Dave Krieg just as he throws that ball.
Yep.
Boy, you talk about Charles Haley causing havoc. Oh, Big Cat's causing him some havoc today.
He's Charles Haley's pupil in many ways. He taught him a lot of those techniques.
He's breaking off a piece of this action.
Screen to center. Center still on his feet, scrambling. Down inside the 45, a little extracurricular activity. Center's still on his feet. Don't see any flags. A conference going on among the officials. Maybe, yeah. One of the referee, or one of the officials just picked up his flag.
Right, and it's against the Cowboys.
Johnny Greer, the leader of this officiating crew.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Dallas bench. First down.
On the Dallas bench. What?
Remember, Barry Switzer had a one against the 49ers. I don't know that that one was against Barry Switzer. It doesn't look like. I mean, he looks pretty calm over there. Well, he's not calm now. They just told him it was against the bench.
Calmness went away. That's a first down. Cardinals on the move. Krieg gives to Centers. Wrapped up by Woodson at about the 25. Maybe he got 3.
Yeah, that Larry Centers is something. I mean, we saw Charles Haley was causing havoc in there, and Larry Centers took care of that. And then you want someone to throw the ball to, and he made a heck of a catch for the touchdown.
Yep.
And then he runs, and it takes like 5 or 6 guys to get him down.
He's one of those guys that you say, well, he's not as good a runner. We got a better runner. We got a better pass receiver. We've got a better blocker. But he does it all very well.
Yeah, and then, you know, he's from Stephen F. Austin, so you wonder where'd that guy come from. But sometimes guys are just football players.
And he's one. He's one. Krieg to throw. Underarm. Flag down by Moore. Not enough for a first down if he made the catch.
That was something you'd see on Saturday in a playground, an underarm pass and a one-handed catch.
Yeah. An upscale playground.
Yeah, but this is pretty good, though. I mean, he's fighting, moving, underhand, a one-handed catch, bring it in, run it right into the breadbasket.
Third down.
Off a piece of that.
3rd and 2. Krieg has Centers as the only back. Gets it out to Moore. Moore got enough for the first down. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League. Is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Dallas Cowboys and the National Football League is prohibited.
Yeah, the Cardinals, of course, they're thinking in terms of 2 touchdowns. So they got to get a score and then probably get an onside kick and then go for another score. They do have all their timeouts.
27-13, clock running. Just over 4 minutes. Krieg back to throw it. Flag on the play. Touchdown to Moore.
I think the whistle blew before the play. So that has to be probably against the offense.
Ball start.
Yep.
Prior to the snap. 87 offense.
No touchdown.
And that's Oscar McBride. Right, because the whistle blew before that ball was ever thrown.
Buddy Ryan's team has done a heck of a job of hanging in there. All their defenders, their good big-name defenders, are hurt. The backups have done an excellent job. And the offense has just scrapped its way around. 2nd and 15.
And Dave Krieg has been pretty effective when given time.
Here's Krieg, who hasn't had a lot of time. Flag on the play. Moore makes the catch at about the 12, but a penalty marker down.
And that's one that would give them an automatic first down if it's against the Cowboys. Because they were 1st and 15. Now they'll get another first down, but they'll get a 1st and 10.
Keep in mind, they'll have a first down, as John said. They have all of their timeouts left. 3 minutes and 54 seconds left.
Yeah, and I think they want to take that penalty again and because they would be like 2nd and 8 or 1st and 10, so they better take the penalty and go 1st and 10. Yes.
Take 1st and 10, buddy.
But he's not answering.
Dave Krieg smiled at him.
Number 55, defense. The 5-yard penalty, first down.
Penalty against Robert Jones.
And then Dave Krieg said, take 1st and 10, Buddy, and Buddy must have said, yes, take 1st and 10, which is the right play. Again, they really do have plenty of time.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
you know, and they're thinking in terms of 2 scores. It would be interesting if they would get a touchdown here. They already had one, but it was called back because of a penalty. But would they go for 2 points or go for 1 and then the tie?
Here's Krieg back to throw. Has time, he has more. Flag on the play, flag in the end zone. There were 2 defenders back with Rob Moore, and he's down in the end zone. Against Dallas.
And that's the good news, is that the penalty is against Dallas for the Cardinals. The bad news for the Cardinals is their go-to guy, Rob Moore, is down.
Well, they said we got to go to him.
Illegal contact. Number 47, defense.
Clayton
First
Holmes.
down.
Moore has been, as John said, their go-to guy. Let's see if we can pick up the penalty.
It looks like as Rob Moore comes down, and he just goes down on that shoulder.
Yeah. I didn't see any interference.
It could have been one of those things that happened. See, it's on Clayton Holmes, number 47, and I think it was illegal hands before.
Must have been.
Yeah, I think here's Rob Moore right here, and that's a penalty right there. See, after 5 yards, you can't hit him. So they called that penalty at that point, and then there was no pass interference there in the end zone.
The good news is that Rob Moore is up and walking off, running off now.
Yeah, when you looked at the pictures there, it looked like as he fell, he just got the wind knocked out of him. I would bet now that gives the Cardinals another first down, and I would bet that Rob Moore is going to be back in there on second down.
Yeah, I would think so. He and Sanders both out of the game. Krieg rejoins the huddle now. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals at the Cowboy 13. 27-13, Dallas leads. Cardinals have all of their timeouts left, and they're on the move. Krieg better hurry. Trying to change the play. Haley jumped. Haley jumped.
Haley's pointing to Ernest Dye. Ernest Dye is pointing to Haley.
Moore comes back into the game.
They're going to have a conference there on whether the left tackle Ernest Dye moved first to draw Haley, or Haley moved first and drew Ernest Dye.
Number 65, offense, prior to the snap. Still first down.
Was Ernest Dye.
Here's number 65 right here, Ernest Dye. We'll see if he moves before. Yep. You see, he just started that little thing. See how the weight starts to go back?
Yep.
He just rocked back. And that's all it is. You know, sometimes those guys start in that pass protection, and they're so big that they just start to rock a little. And if the defensive guy is smart and he makes a move when the guy makes his rock, they're going to call it on the offensive guy.
1st and 15 at about the 18. Krieg deep for Moore. Pass is picked off in the end zone by Larry Brown. Intercepted by Brown in the end zone.
Dave Krieg was trying to throw that one away. It was first down. There's no reason to force anything in the end zone on first down. And he knows that, a 16-year veteran. He's trying to throw it away. He just doesn't throw it far enough.
So the Cowboys will take over out of the 20 as Brown comes up with the big interception.
Watch this interception here. Larry Brown is number 24. He's covering Rob Moore. He has great coverage. He didn't go for the post move. He just played the corner. Dave Krieg was trying to throw that ball away, and he just didn't get enough of it. Now, Larry Brown knocked the pylon down, and no one picked the pylon up.
Pylon down. Emmitt Smith, left side. For about 3 or 4. Don't forget, coming up after our football coverage, space above and beyond, except on the West Coast. Emmitt grabbed his left wrist. And there is a timeout call. Cowboys leading at 27-13. Emmitt Smith grabbed his left wrist after that last carry.
Yeah, you can see, Pat, as he goes to the ground, he just falls right on that left arm and wrist. And whether it's the wrist or the arm or the shoulder, you can see it just, everything goes right down on that left side.
With Terry Hogue on top of it.
You know, the question's going to be asked after he's done what he's done today, and the Cowboys have the lead with 3 minutes left to go in the game. He probably doesn't have to be in there, but that would be a form of a second guess.
Then he grabbed his elbow.
Well, you could see it could be anything on that left side. It could be from the hand to the wrist to the elbow, and sometimes you grab the elbow when it's a shoulder injury. Whatever it is, they're hiding it up on that sideline.
Sherman Williams spins ahead. Michael Bankston made the stop.
You know how important Emmitt Smith is to this team, and in fact, he's probably the most important guy. And when he gets hurt, he draws a crowd.
His left arm, we don't know what. The left elbow is what we're hearing now.
I mean, you could see all his weight and everything went down on that left arm. Again, going back to that penalty against the bench, that was on Barry Switzer.
Mm-hmm.
So Barry Switzer is
came out on the field.
Yeah, came out on the field. So 2 years in the NFL, he has 2 penalties.
There goes Emmitt.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's one. It's an easy one to second guess, and I hate to do it. But you know, and a football player is a football player, and there's a game to be played, and he's playing. Just hate to see anyone get hurt in this type of situation when, really, for all intent and purposes, the game is over.
And he's in pain.
And he's a warrior, and he's a workhorse. I mean, he does it all. And when you say what is a running back or what is a football player, you say number 22 for the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, this is why they took number 20. Sherman Williams broke a tackle and broke close to a first down, and here comes a flag flying in. Patrick Hunter made the stop. Emmitt Smith headed in for x-rays.
Now they got the security there. Did you see those guys? They got everything blocked off. They aren't going to let anyone go in there and figure that deal out. When he takes his helmet off like that and goes like that, he's in a heck of a lot of pain.
Yeah, he is. Well, things like this, you hope they don't happen. But that's the reason they picked Sherman Williams in the last draft, to back up Emmitt Smith.
And to give Emmitt Smith a breather. And that's because Emmitt Smith is such a workhorse, like we said, he's the only guy that carries the ball.
Williams, the Cardinals swarm around him. Less than 3 minutes left now. Seth Joyner and Garth Jacks made the stop.
And you know how popular and what a great player Emmitt Smith is, because that not only took all the air out of the Dallas Cowboy sidelines, but of this crowd too.
Yeah.
I mean, this crowd, you would think that, you know, the Cowboys are undefeated, they're winning, everything's going their way, but this is a very, very quiet place now.
Emmett was saying yesterday he set some goals, some personal goals, but he didn't discuss them publicly.
You know, I mean, it's something how knowledgeable fans are. You know, that they know that, you know, he's heard how important he is, and this is a win, and 4-0, and the Cowboys arguably the best team in football right now. You know, they can't take a loss of Emmitt Smith.
Right.
You just kind of look at the faces in this crowd, and they kind of tell the story. They know it.
It's going to be a victory. That's pretty obvious. Arizona's used all their timeouts. Well, they have one left. I beg your pardon. 2nd and 11. That's the move. Darrell Johnston into Cardinal territory, and there's their last timeout.
Because the Cardinals are thinking still, you know, to be in this game, they got to get the ball back. They need 2 scores, and as a buddy Ryan, you just keep playing. You know, and you never know. I mean, it could be, boom, you can get a turnover, you can run one in, and in any situation, you get to a point that if you keep playing, sometimes, you know, good things happen to you.
3rd down and 7. 2:49 left. This is the last Cardinal timeout left.
Neas Williams there with the knee injury. Injured that in the first half in the end zone on Emmitt Smith's run.
The twin defensive ends.
Yeah, both of them got there at the same time on Dave Krieg a couple times today. They see themselves on the screen. Now, I don't know if that was Charles Haley or his son CJ. I think the guy that stuck his tongue out was CJ.
Well, Father Haley is smiling. 3rd and 7. Sherman Williams deep. Aikman gives to him, and flag on the play. Sherman Williams close to a 1st down. Again, a reminder coming up following football coverage, space above and beyond, except on the West Coast. Johnny Greer let us know.
Offside is considered against the Cardinals.
Aikman took the Cowboys almost the length of the field.
Offside, defense. Left defensive tackle, line up in the neutral zone. Still 3rd down.
Still 3rd down. Much shorter. Again, those of you who might have just joined us, there's Emmitt Smith, who fell on his left arm. And as best we can find out, it's an injury of some sort. We don't know how serious to his left elbow. He's in for x-ray. Sherman Williams has taken his place. 1st down and more. Sherman Williams. Touchdown, Cowboys. That's one he won't forget from 44 yards away.
And everyone's thinking we just wish we would have put him in about 2 plays earlier.
Yep.
Because he can do that. You give him a hole, Sherman Williams could run. And again, that Cardinal defense still gambling, trying to get the ball back. Again, once you get all these guys out in front, if you break through that front, and they got 8 guys, you get to this point right now, again, another missed tackle, poor tackling all day by the Cardinals, then there's only one guy back there that has a chance to prevent a big play.
Bonio for the extra point. 34-13, Cowboys lead. 2:37 remains. Cardinals of Buddy Ryan out of timeouts.
And I know what Buddy's shaking his head about. He's upset with that tackling. Their tackling has been terrible today. I saw a shot down there at Jerry Jones on the sideline. He's been in the news lately, huh?
Has he ever?
Yeah, the league fined him.
Larry Lacewell.
What was it, $300 million?
$300 million.
Yeah, and he signed Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders is going to be operated on, I guess, next week in Miami on that ankle. None of the Cowboys seem to be worried about that.
Yep. Michael Irvin is
He'll grab whoever scores.
The lead hugger.
Look at all that leftover ice. That's a pretty good game. I mean, that's been an easy game for you when you have that much ice left over.
Leftover ice. Wonder what they do with that.
Well, eventually it's going to become water.
Yeah.
It'll be poured down the drain.
Somewhere.
No, but you know, that's if you had to say what's the one thing that is used more for, you know, for injury, rehabilitation, and so on, it's ice. That's the #1 thing.
Well, we were up in Green Bay last week, and the Green Bay players get in a tub of ice to revitalize their tired muscles. Ryan Terry hit first by Bates.
Ryan Terry fielding the ball at the 4-yard line.
Yeah, we were talking earlier in the game about Buddy Ryan and defense and what you had to stop, and here's really the problem. You know, what part of it do you? Here's Emmitt Smith. He gains 169 yards. You don't expect Kevin Williams to do much. He'd only caught 2 passes. He gets 145. Michael Irvin, 105. And then Sherman Williams comes in, 74. Jay Novacek. You know, where do you go? If you gang up on one thing, they're going to kill you someplace else. And that's exactly what they did today.
1st and 10 Cardinals at their own 20. 3 wide receivers. Krieg has gone the whole way at quarterback for Arizona. Motions for the receiver to come to me, and in motion. Has time, gets it out to Larry Centers. And Centers still on his feet. Larry Centers hops out of bounds. Now,
there is a football player. Yeah. Larry Centers started that whole play by knocking the defensive end down.
Yep.
He started by making a block, then he makes a catch, then he runs over a couple of guys. Before he caught that ball, he knocked down the defensive end.
Just flat ran over Alundis Bryce. Chased by Woodson.
That was something.
Finally saw he'd run out of yardage and ran out of bounds and stopped the clock. 2:16 left.
That is a football play, though. If I had to look and say, okay, I want to see a football player make a football play, that was it.
Flag on the play. Pass is intercepted by Brock Marion.
Just watch here. Watch right here, and you'll see Larry Centers on that play I'm talking about. There is the block. There is the catch, and there is a run. Now, that's football.
Yeah. I got to have him on the field more often.
That was a decleater.
Illegal formation, number 71, offense. He lined up in the backfield. The penalty is declined. First down, Dallas.
Larry Tharp lined up in the backfield. Coming up next, following our football coverage, don't forget Space and Beyond, except on the West Coast. 34-13, Dallas leading Arizona.
That block of Larry Centers, though, ought to make some highlight film.
That's the second one like that. He hit Haley one time.
He got Charles Haley earlier, but he just knows how to do it and how to time it and how to find it and how to get you. And then after that, catching the pass and then making that run. I think I would look at that Cardinal team and I would say, well, there's one player I'd take. There's one I'd take from the Cowboys, Eric Williams.
Yep. Got a bad calf muscle. 1st and 10 Cowboys. They'll just run it out. Cardinals out of timeout. They'll run it down to the 2-minute warning. Wade Wilson is the quarterback, replacing number 8, Troy Aikman. 34-13 Dallas. They'll be 4-0. 34-13. The good news, Emmitt Smith, the x-rays have been taken. He has just a bruised elbow. The x-rays were negative. Not serious. It hurts. It's sore, I'm sure, but nothing out of place, nothing dislocated. They'll look at it again tomorrow, but the x-rays so far were negative. Big Cat had a heck of a day, didn't he?
Yeah, he sure did. He broke some off for himself today.
Sherman Williams, the ball carrier. Back in training camp, the Cowboys were saying that Sherman Williams reminded them a little bit of a combination of Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders. I said, come on. What kind of combination is that? That's too good.
And I'm sure somewhere they'd throw in a Tony Dorsett, too. But, yeah, I think you wait a few years before you go to those things. We had to look at that sweat again on these offensive linemen.
Donaldson's not bad.
Yeah, Ray Donaldson may have the longer sweat line than any of the other guys.
He's certainly going to be in the finals. Williams lost the ball, and the Cardinals have it.
Yeah, that's why you just start comparing them with all those running backs, and then this happens, because those running backs don't do this kind of thing. And Sherman Williams knows it. You know, when you get in there, and that was his own guy, ran into Larry Allen, but it doesn't make a difference. When you're inside like that, you have to hold both hands. You know, you can put it in one arm as you get out. When you get in there and there's big old bodies flying around there, you have to protect it.
Don't forget, following football coverage, space and beyond, except on the West Coast. Krieg to throw it. Screen pass, Larry center. Center to the 24. There's a north-south guy.
I'll tell you, that block that he made and that catch on that last drive, that was one of the best plays I've seen in a long time by one guy on one play.
Running over the defenders. Krieg. Touchdown. Rob Moore. A strike. Clayton Holmes, the defender.
I think that's one thing that the Cardinals learned about themselves, and maybe teams learned about this Cowboy defense, that if you can get time, you can work deep on these guys. You can work deep on Clayton Holmes. You know, and again, Clayton Holmes is in there, and then, you know, Deion Sanders eventually will be in that position. But, you know, until he gets back, that if you can get time, you can do something. And again, you see Krieg gets time.
Well, Clayton Holmes is there, of course, because of the Achilles tendon injury to Kevin Smith. Davis, extra points good.
The kick is good with 46 seconds remaining on a score down of 34. The Cardinals 20.
Only vehicles with proper parking credentials.
I like these three down here, Pat.
Yeah.
No open flames, no coolers in the stadium, and no trespassing or soliciting. So if you can't have it, then everything has to be right. Well, yeah. I mean, if you don't leave an open flame, how are you going to have any barbecue?
A croissant at a football game?
No, it's all dry stuff. No, it's all dry stuff. I mean, if you can't have an open flame, how are you going to have a barbecue?
Well, that's what he thinks of it.
If you can't have a barbecue, how are you going to have a tailgate? Well, there's a conversation.
I guarantee you that's about Emmitt Smith. Stockyards of Fort Worth. Now, there's some outside cooking there.
There, now we're cooking. Now we're talking here. We couldn't find any here, so we went and got it.
Barbecue.
Now there's a barbecue. I mean, there's a machine. Look at that. Now you're talking.
I wonder how far down that guy's sweating.
Look at that. That's the real tailgate food there.
Not a real horse, however. There's a horse.
Yeah, the last time we saw him, he was sticking his tongue out.
Yeah.
If you knew what Charles Haley was going to do, he wouldn't be Charles Haley.
If you knew what he was thinking, he wouldn't be Charles Haley.
Did you see Troy Aikman there? Charles Haley said yesterday, look at Aikman. He said, how can you make $50 million and have a sour look? You see that?
It's a good
he
point.
had a sour look.
It's a good point.
Here comes an onside-er.
Novacek had it in his sights, and he got creamed.
That's what you get for being on that hands team.
Yep.
You know, you have an onside kick team and an onside prevent team.
What did James Brown say about Oakland?
But my goodness.
My goodness.
But look at that. I mean, that should be when you make $50 million and you're young and good-looking and talented and all those things, you ought to be happy. You're winning. You're 4-0. You've won 2 Super Bowls. You got all the money. You're building a house.
Well,
You ought to smile or something.
I think it's the building the house part that's got him. not smiling.
That's what Charles Haley said. He said, how can you have that much money and not be giggling all the time?
I agree. It's a good point. I'll never know. Nate said they got that big room and where you walk in the house. What are we doing there, he said.
Foyer.
The foyer, yeah.
His wife wants to build a foyer. He said, what do we need a foyer for? What's a foyer?
Nothing goes on in there.
Well, he said they come in and they take their jackets off and they shake the rain off.
Yeah. Take their shoes off, put them in the garage, he said.
The old Nate, he doesn't mind building a house. He doesn't want to furnish it and have designers and all that stuff. He played a heck of a game.
Yeah,
I mean, that whole offensive line really controlled this Cardinal defense, and they were the guys that pass blocked for Troy Aikman, and they were the guys that ran block for Emmitt Smith.
The world, according to Nate, is a very interesting place. And there'll be some laughter there, I'll guarantee you.
I guarantee you they all want to find out how Emmitt is.
Well, I'm sure the news has gotten back. We still got to check out who won that sweating contest. 34-20, Dallas won the game.